Hey everybody, Spencer here from Geek of Spades, bringing you another Warzone Resurrection unboxing. This time we're taking a look at the other troop choice for the Brotherhood. These are the Sacred Warriors. So these are the 3 sprues you get, and some parts that fell off. So let's take a closer look at what you get in this kit. So we'll start with what's arguably the most important part, and this is the bodies and legs. They're one part, and I actually really like that. I like that you're not trying to assemble these guys who have these robes and end up looking kind of weird because they have this big crease where their torso attaches to the legs. I also like that the capes, their cloaks here, are part of the body. It's a lot easier on assembly, honestly. These guys are pretty awesome. There's a lot of flat surface like on their legs, which I get. They're wearing robes and stuff. But it's weird because the cloaks and capes and whatever you want to call them on their backs, those have all sorts of creases and stuff. So it just seems a little wonky. Their torsos are nicely detailed, got a good amount of armor plating in there. I also like they have their little books hanging off their hips on chains. Although it's funny because in the fluff in the book, it says that they have the books on their chests. So don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, I mean, this is a good bodies. I mean, they're nicely done. Next, we'll take a look at the arms and head sprue. So you get 5 sets of arms, and you'll notice I've got a sword arm here that's snapped off. So Brotherhood Sacred Guardians don't actually carry guns; they just have swords and shields. And you might think, oh, that makes them really awful in game, but they're actually pretty good because their shields can deflect shots to enemy models within 6 inches of them, which is pretty awesome. They're also 2 wounds each, which for a basic trooper model is actually pretty good. So let's take a look at some of the details on these parts. Their arms are all cloaked and they've got a lot of detail. I like that they've got the sleeves hanging down so they don't look like they're just hugging on them. Their swords they look really small, but they actually are just about the right size when you start building them. The only problem is that they're really thin, so you have to be extremely careful. You might notice this one's actually bent a bit. Their heads here, also very nicely done, very well detailed, very, very reminiscent of the old Sacred Guardian heads. There's not a whole lot to say about them. And this is one of the things that comes up a lot with Brotherhood models is they're very reserved. They're not super flashy. And then you have their other arms here. And these are the arms for holding their shields. And you'll notice there's these little nubs on the top of their hands here. And that's where the shield actually plugs in. So not the fanciest model, but very well done. And the last sprue in the kit is easily the least exciting. It's just shoulder pads and shields. The shields are pretty nice. They're nice and big. They are just the right size to work with the model. And you can see they've got the holes in the back there, so you can actually choose where you want it on their hand. And then the shoulder pads are actually pretty nice. I like how crisp the detail is on them. The one thing I don't like is that they attach like so to the sprue. So that takes a little effort to get cleaned properly, and you'd probably either want a super steady hand with a knife or like a Dremel or something just to get that out. I managed to get it out with a knife pretty easily, but I also nicked myself a couple of times, which was not fun. So now that we've taken a look at all the sprues, let's take a look at a Brotherhood Sacred Warrior once it's all assembled. So here it is, a Sacred Warrior that has been all built up. The one thing I really like is because of the way the legs and the arms are designed, these guys have very dynamic posing, which I really like. And you can see how the shield attaches in there. And yeah, these guys, I mean, they go together really easily. The only trouble I had was getting the shoulder pads on, only because, I'm not very good at assembling. I'm also a little dumb because I attached the shield before the shoulder pad, which didn't work out too well. You can see the remnants of some of the mold under there. I didn't get it all out because I don't have the proper tools to do it. But yeah, these guys look pretty awesome. I'm pretty sure I screwed up that shoulder pad. I'm sure it's supposed to sit lower. But they look cool, very dynamic poses, and just, you know, just because of the way they're designed, they fill out their base really nice too. So yeah, that's the Brotherhood Sacred Warrior, the second troop option for the Brotherhood forces. And if you want to see more Brotherhood unboxings for Warzone Resurrection, be sure to keep it right here to Geek of Spades. And don't forget to check the links below to follow us on Facebook and on Twitter.